Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for another game theory video. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. Super Chat, PayPal, Patreon, whatever, if you want. I know a couple people donated recently for me to get a tiramisu while I'm in Japan. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And if you want to donate too, you can do that. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to, right? It's up to you. Today, I want to talk about, again, the Nepotism, the nightmare of Nepotism in 2XKO, as it's a rainy day here, so I thought I would look what's going on in the video game community, and I saw there was another 2XKO clusterfuck, and just to talk about that game and the Nepotism, the nightmare of Nepotism, right? That could be the title of this video. And I say that because, again, my opinion on the game is still what I've said from the very get-go, okay? I'm not saying that the game is not going to be fun, because what is fun is subjective. I enjoy things that maybe other people don't enjoy. Maybe you enjoy something that I don't enjoy, vice versa, whatever, right? I'm sure people will have fun with the game, but I am constantly reminded whenever I watch any interview that there is a big difference between liking something, talking about something, and actually knowing what you're talking about, right? When I look at this game and you constantly see it's like every interview, oh, well, we thought this was fun, but then I guess it's not fun. Or, oh, we want your opinion on this. Oh, remember, I mean, how many, oh, we're going to change this, blah, blah, blah. At some point, and then you see that there's only going to be 10 characters, supposedly, if the game ever gets launched, I don't know how you have Riot money, right? And this game is what, 8 years into development or some shit like that. And that's if you don't include it when it was the robot game or some bullshit. And it's not like there's nothing to go off of. These characters are characters that existed, right? And certainly, again, to, you know, give them a little bit of a leeway, you could say, right? It is, I do think that it's probably impossible to make any truly entirely new sort of fighting game, right? Everything is going to be a little bit based off of something, right? Not that there can't be any new ideas, right? There can still be new ideas, but to have a completely 100% new game is probably impossible in fighting games in the medium, right? But when you look at this, it's just constantly like, what is new about this? And this is a game that is promoted as, the greatest minds in fighting games being working on this game, right? 8 years, let's just say 10 years. 10 years, a character a year, if that, right? And I just think, well, what are they doing, dude? Like, and when I talk about, it's like, oh, well, is this fun? Well, we does decide this isn't fun, or so we don't know what's fun. Like every interview, it's just is the same thing. Well, I guess we're gonna do this. Well, we asked you, did you like this? Well, you didn't like this. There's a difference between that. Of course, you want some feedback, and then there's also you just don't know what the fuck you're doing, right? I mean, I don't. Again, I'm not saying the game isn't going to be fun. You might have fun with it. Hell, maybe the game might even be good in some areas, but they will, no matter what, whenever this game finally comes out, it proves that Nepotism and all these dudes that were promoted as working on this game are the greatest minds in the scene don't really know what they're doing. Everything just seems to be, oh, well, that was in this game, so let me take this. Oh, this was in this game, so let me take this. Oh, is this fun? How do you not know what's fun in your own game? Again, I understand that, you want some feedback, right? Is this fun? You need to balance some things. But if you have the greatest minds in the history of the fighting game community working on your game for 10 years and you still don't know what the fuck is fun about your game and you are constantly changing everything, even if eventually it does make the game better, which you would hope. But I think at some point you have to admit that you scammed. You scammed Riot out of money, right? You're not as smart as you let everyone think you are, and again, it's no wonder because you look at the people that are working on the game. And I've said this before too, right? I think to actually make a truly good game, you need to be able to appreciate all sorts of fighting games, right? You need to appreciate different sorts of characters even if you don't play those characters, right? But when you look at the people on this team, they tend to only like, oh, they like this kind of character. They like this kind of character. They played this kind of game. They're not people that actually, how should I say this? They're not people that like fighting games in a sort of broad spectrum, that appreciate every different kind of playstyle. They tend to like one kind of playstyle. So it's no wonder that the game is like a clusterfuck of like, well, what do we do? Right? It's like, oh, we're just taking this character, from this thing. Oh, well, I guess that's fun because that was fun there. You need to be able to enjoy every kind of play style, right? And again, you look at these people that are supposedly big brain people that are working on the game. Like recently, I saw that Aaron, aka guy, was working on this game. That is a guy that has said before, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about for anything. I want you to think, that is a guy that I think you can still probably go look on Discords and people are even joking with him that I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about. The person that has found more tech in the history of fighting games than anyone else in the history of fighting games, year after year, all different kinds of games. Not like you motherfuckers that, oh, you only like Marvel game or a verse game or anime game. I have found tech in every kind of fucking fighting game there is, even 3D games, right? But I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm crazy. This is a guy that has joked about leaving me for dead at a tournament, which I actually went to go, before I made this video, I went to go look to see if that's still up. And it's funny, after I found that out and I called him out for that, he actually blocked me now. He sure as fuck didn't care about joking about me dying and I'm supposedly a crazy person before, but oh shit, now I posted this when he's working on a game. Oh, I gotta seem like I'm smart, like I've actually done something in games. Pretty weird. That Yahose works on the game. Is Yahose a big brain person? Are you sure Yahose the same person that befriended me and then allowed themselves to take credit for the stuff that I was doing and then made up a lie that I hate transgender people? Do you remember they did that? Yeah, they did that. And guess what? I showed it never happened. But they sure were, had to get clout off of me because they couldn't do anything themselves, right? You look at a person like Marlon Pie, obviously an actual competitive player who has done stuff in games, but is Marlon Pie not the same person? And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember the exact quote, but didn't Marlon Pie, and me and Marlon Pie actually have it played, and guess what? I beat Marlon Pie when we played, but Marlon Pie, again, correct me if I'm wrong, so this is with a bit of an asterisk mark, but in terms of actually bringing in Marlon Pie to help design characters and everything like that, is Marlon Pie not the same person that has said it's better for other people to find tech because finding tech will waste your time, and so you should just wait for other people to find the tech and then you can use your time to actually practice the tech to get better at it? Do you remember that? That kind of sounds like a person that is self-admittedly is not a tech lord. You look at Clockwork, and I used to respect Clockwork. Clockwork used to shout me out all the time and used to ask me for stuff when I was doing games, and then all of a sudden couldn't talk about me anymore. And when I asked him about it, just seemingly didn't know. Very strange. Clockwork did that fucking, what was that game? The fucking Power Ranger game. That Power Ranger game, if you look at it, I mean, I'm sorry, how many times when you look at that Power Ranger game is it just combos? Oh, wow, combos. And you can even see it looks like the animations they take from stuff is just from other fighting games. Like if you have a broad knowledge of fighting games, you can actually almost see where it's like they took the animation from this game and just put it to the characters. Just copy and pasted. It's not very big brain, right? Just the entire game, you look at the people making it, it's like, what have they actually done? And this isn't to say that they don't, Pat the Flip. Pat the Flip is another example of like, and I've used this example, right? And this is funny because I would love for you to show me videos of my haters saying to watch my videos, right? But I've always said that you can watch any of my haters. Watch Buttmonger, watch anybody. Because I know I'm not afraid because no one can keep up with me in video games, dude, right? And a lot of times when you listen to people, it's just background noise, which is, that's fine, right? If you have a hobby, sometimes you just like listening to someone talk about the hobby that you enjoy in the background as well. But Pat the Flip isn't a big brain guy. He's just a guy that liked to write about video games. He's not like a tech lord or something like that. He's not like a guy that ever came up with ideas or anything like that. Why is he working on a game? Oh, nepotism? That's the entire game. Unconquerable? Is Unconquerable? I played him. I beat him. He's not a big brain guy. These guys aren't big brain guys, and they are promoted as being the greatest minds in the history of the scene, right? And then you see these interviews, and it's like, well, what have you done? You like games, so you got to work on a game for 10 years, and what have you done? The shit is weird. I can only imagine. Can you imagine the hate that I would get if I worked on a game for 10 years and I was doing what they were doing? I would never hear the end of it. And you still have some people that actually defend these guys. And I'm just like, it's crazy. And again, that's not to say that the game might not be fun. And, you know, of course you do want to take some feedback. But at some point when I listen to them, this is some ASMR, just cracking my toes. Oh my God, did you hear that big crack? Cracks and apple pop. Did they still say that? Rice Krispie treats or Rice Krispie cereal? Is that cracks and apple pop? I don't remember what it is. Anyway, I'm old. I just look at the game and I just shake my head. And I'm just like, I can't believe. I can only imagine what it's like to get paid to do such a bare minimum of stuff in a game, that you aren't actually coming up with new ideas, and it just is like, oh, well, that's from this character, that's from this character, and you're just constantly throwing things. Oh, I hope this works. Oh God, well, you know, execution, and you look at the button commands, it's supposed to be like less complicated. I look at it and I guess I'm just so old school. I just see like, oh, tap tap blah blah blah, number. This is just, how is this not more complicated than just doing a motion to me? This is just like I'm like reading a math quiz or some shit like that. 2x KO. I made that joke. What gender is this now, dude? Right? I mean, come on. Just is, I don't know. I just can't imagine getting paid that much money to work on a game and then not actually accomplish so little. You know? But that's my thoughts on the 2x KO. Seeing another interview, and again, is the game more polished? I mean, sure, but at some point, it's like, dude, do you have what was the like? There's got to be like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder if, you know, maybe, and I've said this before during one of the videos, I wonder if they've had ideas for the game, but they've been shot down so much that it's just like killed them as well, right? And I can only, I guess you could say that some, is there any way that I might feel bad for them? I guess as someone that, and again, I know people will say this isn't true, but, you know, I don't play a lot of games, you know. I don't even know the next time I will ever play games, right? Like, it's easy for me to go months at a time without playing video games, so I'm not even sure the next time I'm going to play games, right? But I can only imagine it must be so boring to play the same game every single day for like 10 years. I mean, I guess you're getting paid for it, but it must really, I would feel like, God, it would really feel like a job to me. I feel like, just like, oh God, right? And again, I guess at the end of the day, like I said, it just, even if the game comes out and it actually becomes a objectively good game, although 10 characters, a tag team game, even when it comes out, right? I mean, come on. But I just don't think you will never be able to convince me that these people are the greatest people in the minds of the fighting games, which of course is ridiculous considering these are people that work on the game are people that have asked me for help, which is crazy, right? But, you know, you'll never be able to convince me of any real positive thing about these people, that to get paid for 10 years to release a product like that, it just is. I just feel like you probably could have taken just random people at some point. You probably could have just taken some. I don't think that they deserve credit for it, to be honest with you. It's really, really pathetic. But anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. Nothing but nepotism on that game, I swear. The end.